Hello, and welcome back to our video series on vascular streak dieback on ornamentals. Today we're going to meet with Dr. Hsuan Chen, an assistant professor in the Horticultural Science Department at North Carolina State University. Dr. Chen is a red bud breeder, and he's focusing his research on finding varieties resistant to vascular streak dieback in red bud. Thank you so much for being here.
It's my pleasure to promote my thesis research.
Wonderful. Okay, let's start with the first question then. So red bud is one of the most impacted species by VSD. Do you know any varieties that show any resistance?
From very beginning, Tennessee State University and us, we are trying to trial if there are any good cultivar or good gene we can use for thesis. And then most thesis production in the United States are mostly Eastern red bud, which is Cercis canadiensis. And we have tried many species, many cultivars. And unfortunately, every cultivar shows certain different level of symptom. And so somehow we don't have a very strong cultivar in Eastern red bud. If we have to produce Eastern red bud, we found that red leaf cultivar is generally better than yellow leaf. And also those glossy leaf cultivars tend to be less or fewer symptoms than those waxy leaf cultivars. That's a two direction we can think. But in the same time, we also have several reports, and then recently we get primary data to find Chinese red buds, which is Cercis chinensis. They all show strongly tolerance or resistance to VSD.
Oh, nice. So from what I understand, Church's chinensis, so Chinese red bud, would be a good choice for now. What should growers do if this variety is not commercially available now?
So since we have this very primary discovery from 2 years ago, we already tell some nurseries, and then some Linus nursery already start to produce Cercis chinensis grafted on canadiensis, which is almost traditional way we produce canadiensis, and it works well. But because everyone wanted them now, so there's some problems that some nursery are complaining that they cannot find enough night nurse. So in this case, there are several options producers can do. First, they can do their in-house stem cutting. And chinensis is pretty easy to routine, but we also get some report that plants produced from directly stem cutting, they rooting well, but they just grow way slower. So production time probably have 1 more year or sometimes 1.5 year more longer. And the other thing is to concern about produced chinensis, you will miss market native plants. Also, chinensis tend to have a lot of more branches and much more shrubby. So it won't be a very ornamental value as a tree. So that's a trade-off. But somehow, because there's strong resistance, a lot of nurseries still decide to grow in chinensis until we can give them better canadiensis that they can use.
I see. What is your breeding program currently working on then?
Yes, so from observation and our primary data with Tennessee State University, we already know chinensis seems to have a strong resistant or tolerance genes. So now what we are doing is what I was trying to introduce the gene from chinensis to canadiensis. And this originally take at least 2 to 3 generations, which probably 15, 20 years. But I was lucky person that my predecessor, Dr. Danny Warner, he already made the F1 hybrids like 10 years ago. So we directly skip later. This now in my program, we already have few hundreds of BC second generations that we can do selection. So hopefully we can soon release something almost canadiensis and carry VSD resistance. In the same time, in the United States, National Arboretum has collected a lot of species worldwide, and any of them are directly available for any nursery. So now we are trying those national operating collection and also our JCRA collection of other robust species. So we are trying to first finding more resistant gene for us to use in the future. Second, if any plants from national operating turns out VSD resistance or tolerance, we can directly introduce them to our nursery industry for directly use.
Oh, that sounds great. Well, thank you so much for being here and give us all this information. I'm sure it's very useful for many growers.
Yes, that's my pleasure. Let's keep growing searches.
Yeah, thank you.